name's John Wright. Matter of fact, I just woke up a little bit ago. I just launched one of my tapes that I just did, and it was about my sister coming over. And, she seen me. She went out here and she cut up next to my place. Whenever I do something, she's going to show up and she's going to act out like this. And I already know how it works because she's done it a couple times, second time before. And I'll talk about that. But anyway, she was here yesterday, and we went over, you know, her main point about coming out here was because she knew that there was somebody out here that was acting out, and she came over here basically to feel it out, I'm sure, you know and they can say their motive's something else. They just wanted to trim down the ferns and stuff so they grow back nice and all that stuff. Well, my sister went and she cut it all down. She just cut it all down. That's fine, you know like, just chop it off. Just show up. But no, don't tell me, well, I'm going to be over there by your place, I'm going to be cutting down. Just show up and just, maybe if I wasn't there, she would have just been here fucking mowing right next to my place without me even knowing she was there, and then she'd be sneaked up here on my place, and that could cause a problem too if I find somebody here. And so, anyway, while I was here, the conversation started, and we started talking, about that guy that come out there, was right here, and I looked at her and I pointed right here to my place, and I'll just say it, the camera's right there. The camera's right there, and that book right there says D.B. Cooper on it. This is what this is, and it's the D.B. Cooper story right here. It's right there so everybody could see it that wants to sit here and do this looky-loo shit, because the Republican Party has done this, and they're using text messaging to actually text message my own family members right here. I'm sure Ernie's got text messages before, and I'm pretty sure that Bonnie gets text messages too, as strong as my sister feels about the Republican Party. And what's funny is, I'm doing nothing to no one. By the way, I got a BB shot right here in my lion that's on the motorhome, and I told my brother-in-law yesterday, I said, all this, I said, I never turned somebody in for shooting my lion, but I know where it came from. I said it didn't come from the fire hall. It came from right over there at that guy's house right there. And I said, well, maybe because I put that little piece of paper about the noise and stuff over there, maybe that guy has a son, and he brought his BB gun up over here and he shot my thing. I said, now could you imagine? You do something to my dad, and maybe one of his boys will come over and do some revenge, And Ernie, all of a sudden, he smiles, and I said, well, think about it, Ernie. I go, I'm being honest here. I said, I said, now I'd like to see somebody explain why they were compelled to raise a BB and do that. I don't want them punished. I said, I would just assume stand right in front of them and smile and say, checkmate. Pretty much is what I'm telling Ernie. I'm not a cop caller. Oh, you want to do something? You come on down and we'll goddamn fucking play, because when people fucking play with me, I'll fucking tell them right to their face, oh, you want to play goddamn games? And all of a sudden they fucking know. I said, I fucking see right through you and their games and stuff, and all of a sudden, I said, you better get the fuck out of here. To people, I have told people that. Matter of fact, I had to tell my nephew Kevin that, because why? My nephew Kevin's acting out. Why? Because they kidnapped his child off the property, and they used cops to do it, and a black cop to do it, and they're using racial, and they're trying to make it racial. Now, my sister Bonnie, after talking to her out here, and I told her, the evidence is, Bonnie, I've got all the evidence that proves that my dad was D.B. Cooper. George Wright was a Zodiac killer. He had to do all those killings and stuff. And I said, Bonnie, you don't know how much I goddamn know. From the Johnson's Dirty Bookstore up there in Gale's Edition, the John The Johnsons, hey, Lyndon B. Johnson, this has everything to do with the Zodiac killer, has everything to do with John F. Kennedy getting murdered, you know. And I never told her that point, but I told her, I said, you know, the Johnson's dirty bookstore, and she started fucking laughing because she goddamn knows I'm fucking onto it. I fucking know what's going on. And that's when I think she started telling me about Jerry has Mark's children. You see, Jerry's got Mark's children up there, and he's holding children up there on the Middle Fork Road. Jerry Wright held me in a cage in Port Angeles, Washington, him and his mother, while George Wright went down and had to do Zodiac killings throughout California. And my dad came there, back there on January 3rd. He walked through that door, I believe it was January 3rd. My sister Bonnie had a baby over at that hospital that they passed off as my sister ultimately. And even George went along with it. George knew it. Everyone knew it but me. Even my little sister Patty knew that that was her Aunt Debbie and wasn't her sister. Every one of my family members went along with it. Why? Because you know what? I actually watched how they do this, and they force people to comply and stuff. And my story, going back and how it's all put together, that's exactly how it is. This is no more than a mafia. Because I'll tell you what, they had the Morton Mafia, and they had the Morton Skulls. And another thing is that bowling alley that's at 208 Main Street. The credit union that's down there, that's down at the end of the road, is at 101 Main Street. You know, we've got Highway 101 that's the coast. You know, what they've done is they've put credit unions throughout the Pacific Northwest for an invasion, and Donald Trump's crew has fucking done this. The Republican Party has done this all the way back. I went to school with Greta Evans. That's Dan Evans. That was Governor Dan Evans' granddaughter. You see, the Republican Party was behind the murder of JFK. The Lebanese, they're involved with the cops. Now, when I see these mayors, I seen a mayor over there that was like, you know, doesn't look right. These mayors in the town that runs the cops, the Republican cops and the mayors and stuff, right there's the thing. You know, you got Chicago can't get nothing done. Why? Because the mayor and the cops are together, and could you imagine them supplying dope to the people that sells dope, and the people that's in between are getting this? Because that's what's happening. And in Lewis County, that's a prime example. My brother Jerry's holding children right now up there on the Middle Fork Road. He's holding Mark Vedder's children from him. You know, where's Mark Vedder's, where's this woman that was Mark Vedder's children? It sounds like these children might be twins too, by the way. Because Bonnie says he's had those babies from the very beginning, like they're on bottles. What happened to that woman that was Mark's, was the mother of these babies that's in Jerry Wright's custody now? That guy right there, I've seen him abuse children. He stole that child from my sister Bonnie. Whether she wants to admit it or not, she don't. I fucking goddamn know now. Debbie don't even look like us. Matter of fact, I knew that she was with my PE teacher in Port Angeles. You know, I want to say what was his name. Well, anyway, I've said it in past things. But regardless, Jerry Wright's been kidnapping, and the Lewis County law enforcement's involved in it. And matter of fact, they have a problem with the Green Hill School down there too. All these drugs and stuff involved in the school. They came in and they found out that these stuff wasn't being turned around. You know why these things isn't being turned around? Because they're just putting them out there and they're reselling it again. They're collecting the money over and over and over again. And this is what they're doing. within the cities and stuff, in these small towns and stuff in rural America, you know, hey, and if you don't fucking play games with us and stuff, you're not going to have a job, and they blackball you from work. My dad was D.B. Cooper, and I'm telling you the truth. And my sister out here, she came over here, and she's acting out. She says to me, she goes, I can see where this is going. I asked her about, do you think women should have rights? Because I'm going to talk to her about Roe versus Wade. What do you think? Don't you think women should have rights? She says, you want to be a Democrat, like this. And well, I was just told that a hair sniffer over there a while back, and also Ernie, he seems to have a problem with. He doesn't know what's real. I don't know what to believe on the news. I said, well, shit, Ernie. I said, you just go to YouTube and you write current news on there, and everything pops up. And I go, you go goddamn down it. You look at all these people have to say, if you didn't know nothing about it, what would you do? Or he goes, I don't know if I could believe. Well, he's unwilling to believe anything, I guess, or whatever it is. He's a good person. I'd have no problem with my brother-in-law. But I'm just saying, my sister Bonnie, she's acting out because her children's been forced to comply and all this, and for some reason maybe they're all involved in a cuckoo, because I talked to her about Donald Trump and his cuckoo, and I talked to her about the gold mine being ripped off, and she asked me, why do you think the Republican Party has ripped it off? And I told her why, because Malin Kent's right there. He was in the clampers, and Brian and Jerry and all them and all that goddamn thing, and that gold mine and stuff. And I pointed out a picture to her, and I said, and by the way, Bonnie, I said, this is my goddamn fight. It's not yours. Because all these people wanted to do is they wanted to stop me from fucking coming forward, and this is no more than an attempt to either my sister do that or my sister to tell me here's more information. And I will tell you, the last time that my sister was here, she came over here with a weed eater, and she fucking was running that weed eater wild, and she even fucking blew shit up on me. She was too goddamn close to me. She came over here in my area, and I rent from them. I told them they can cut down anything they fucking want. All they have to do is cut and run. And, pretty much I have a good relationship. I don't want to I'm being hard on my family or something. No, my family acts out towards me, and I just have the goddamn nuts to say, oh, is that right? Isn't that nice? And I'm going to fucking post it. And you know what? It don't fucking help to fucking hide the shit that my family's doing. And by the way, I fucking sent a fucking pamphlet to the governor and stuff prior to this. And when it went over there to the Department of Labor and Industries, they called my sister's place. She's over here saying, am I going to have to take you to a nut house, John, to have you get hauled away? Well, the other day, because I showed her my leg and I hurt it and stuff, and it's getting better, and I'm honest to her, she's saying she thinks I need to go to a doctor. No, or to the hospital. I'm not going to the hospital. I'm not going to do any goddamn thing that has anything to do with public services. And by the way, I'm just fine sitting here talking to you. I told her I had 2 million viewers on YouTube. She just put her head down, shook her head like that, and I told her about my marketing abilities. And I'm pretty damn good at it. Thank you much for your time, and you have a great day, and I'm uploading this next.